Hi replay viewers, thanks for joining. Wanted to do a little show and tell of the cups. You guys have been kind of through the process with me with making my wine cups and the special orders that I had in this last round. Hello, thanks for coming. I wanted to show what the final result looked like before I packed everything up. The gallery in Bozeman, I asked them if, I thought they wanted maybe a dozen cups. They ended up taking them all. They want all the cups. So I thought I'd better show off the results before I pack them up to send off to Bozeman. So this is the deal. This is what we got going on here. So here's one of the dandelion cups, wine cups. And the drain holes in the bottom came out just great. They work really well. All these bottoms have been finely sanded and smooth. Hi Lynn, how are ya? So this is a very happy end result. As you might remember, these cups were quite a lot larger. Now you can hold them in your hand. I'm doing great. I was just really surprised and excited by the fact that my gallery, my gallery ended up taking all of the cups, and I just wanted to show them before I sent them off because I thought that they were pretty awesome. And apparently, thank you so much for the hearts. So this is a new damask print I haven't used before, but I think I really like the end result. This one is that same damask print, but I deconstructed it a little bit, and so you can kind of see, if I go this way, you might be able to kind of see the similarities, but I deconstructed it and did it that way. It gives it kind of a tribal feel. It's kind of an interesting between the antique feel and the tribal feel. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's pretty cool. Here's a great little scroll, damask scroll, and so I'm really pleased with that. And like I said, these little drain holes just all stayed super clear, so I'm really pleased. That's my favorite dill cup. That one came out really nice. That one's got a nice, I love the way this one has a more rounded bottom, so that's pretty neat. So let's see, the dandelion cups, I kept them all pretty simple. A couple of them I have in variations. This one burned out just a little bit at the top, but I think it gives it a little extra interest in this particular case, so I'm pretty pleased with that. I did those, I had that special order. I had 4 of these cups with the Unomi foot with a thumbprint. And you can kind of see that indent there, so that his right thumb, he requested a right thumb imprint, so I did that. And then I sent him a picture of all 4 cups completed, and he picked the 2 he liked best. So I have 2 more of these really fun cups. I think I'm going to keep these and put them in my Etsy shop because they're a little bit out of the ordinary for what my gallery in Bozeman already has going. So they're fun though, and I think this one really feels nice. It's got that nice throwing ridge right there. Let's see. Oh, and I did a little, what is it, a hyperlapse on Instagram where it goes really, the Etsy shop is, excuse me, a little froggy this morning. The Etsy shop is ZephyrValley Ceramics, and I'll show here, actually. I have my little, so ZephyrValley Ceramics, and that's pretty much everything. All the way through Instagram, Facebook, my website blog. So I do the detailed pictures and a little more developed thought process on my blog, on my website. There's Etsy and Pinterest. So thank you for asking. These also are a little bit larger than these guys. You can see the body of the cup is a little bit bigger. So he was asking specifically for a coffee cup. So I did make that a little bit larger. This is a pound as opposed to 3/4 of a pound for the body. In the hyperlapse that I did for on Instagram, these little guys. So I have my little ring dishes. They vary in size. I threw these off the hump. And so that was, you know, some of them have a trimmed foot. Some of them are just a flat foot. But I'll be doing these on a made-to-order kind of basis, I think. And this is a cute one. This one's a little itty-bitty guy. It's pretty adorable. I really like how this ended up giving me a bit of a, oh, I don't know, more of a horizontal surface, I guess, with this work. So I think these are pretty sweet. I like these quite a bit. These little ring dishes. And then I also did some dessert plates as a special order for one of the customers in Bozeman. And so I have these little dessert plates. Now the cool thing about this that I'm really happy about is sort of the more barnwood, worn texture. Hi Karen. Of the glaze that came out. It's got some nice little crystal development here from the Strontium Crystal Magic, but it really has kind of more of a worn feel. Gives it more of that heritage, that heirloom text flavor. Did that decal in the middle. So these are 8. Right, a weekend trip, that's great. Where are you going? In fact, I think that's the biggest plate. That one feels like it's about 8.5 inches. These are about 8. Hi, Justin. So this one's really cool too. See how it's got that barnwood antique? Yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. And, oh, nice. Very cool, Karen. Thanks, Lynn. So, and it was interesting. I found that I wanted to do the dill in groups, kind of more families of images, whereas the dandelions, for some reason, really struck me as wanting to be single images on these vertical pieces or these horizontal pieces. So I think that that is going to be, oh, thanks, Karen. Appreciate the inviting of followers. I think that it has, it just gives it room on the plate for the food, but also the imagery. Because these are dessert plates, I kind of wanted to keep this a little bit more. Thanks, Lynn. Hi, Georgia. So I wanted to, I don't know, it was just kind of one of those things. For whatever reason, the dandelion puff felt like it just needed to be an image all by itself. So that, and the application was brushed on. I normally dip or spray. Yeah, so there's, I don't know, there's just something about the way that worked versus the way that worked, you know. So I started with, I think these are 2 pounds of clay to begin with. And again, this is M340, which is a Plainsman clay out of Canada. Yeah, right, maybe. And I trimmed the feet out of that 2 pounds. And then I have a diamond sanded, diamond covered sanding pad that I use to smooth out the bottoms of these feet so that they're nice and soft. And I do that underwater, of course, so that the dust doesn't get in the air. So, whoop, that one's upside down. There we go. So, yeah, so that's, yeah, I sure can. Be happy to. I'll grab that in just a second. So, the little ring dishes, some of these are big enough they could be almost like soap dishes compared to some of these little itty bitty guys. Kind of fun. Yeah, let me grab that, Karen. Hold on just a second. So when I have a really tight spot to get into, so one of these cups had a little goober right there on that drain hole, and so I had to get in there and get it sanded out because it was rough. So I use these normal sanding pads because they get into corners really nice and they have some flexibility. But when I'm sanding the bottom of feet, and I do this for all my cups, everything, bowls, plates, anything that's going to touch a table surface, I want it to be as smooth as possible so that it doesn't scratch the surface. So I have these. This was a Jeff Campagna, was a resident at the Archie Bray Foundation a couple of years ago, and he recommended these sanding pads. Now I'll show you what they look like. This one's my 50, and it's still wet from when I was sanding last night. This is the brand. This is the 200, and you can. I got these at Toolocity, TOOLOCITY.com. I think you can get these at Harbor Freight. I'm not 100% sure, but you can get something like this at Harbor Freight. This one's the 200. Yes, exactly. That is, and then I do the 50 first to get all the big, and if there's any kiln wash chunks, then I do the 100 in the middle, and then I do the 200 at the end. I've been considering going up higher. Okay, Karen, have a great time. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the hot springs. And so I am going to, make sure that oh, great, perfect. So I want to make sure that that bottom is as soft and smooth as possible. I'm considering going up in grit to even make it more fine. On my blog, I have a link to, I did a scope specifically on the sanding blocks. I have a link to Jeff's blog where he shows off all the different kinds that he's used, and it's a great guide. Bye, Lynn. Did you leave? I thought I saw you say bye. I wanted to be sure. So this, I also wanted to show you guys this. I did a single fire of Amelia's. So Amelia's my 6-year-old daughter. She's working on being creative with me in the studio, and one of the things that I told her she could do is she could make trinket dishes and sell them, and that half of the price that we sell them for, we would put into her savings account for her future. So whether that's college or, I have a vision of her going on a European tour, seeing what other countries' cultures are like. She actually is making these almost entirely by herself in the beginning of the process. So she's rolling out the slabs. She is putting in the texture. She's cutting them out. She's putting them into the slump molds that I have some slump molds that I made. So she puts them into the slump molds so that they can set up. So she's pretty much doing all of that. The part that I do to help her is I help smooth the edges. I do the glazing because she's not quite ready for that yet. But she's doing this. So I decided to try a single fire to see if we could get that process done a little more quickly, because she's 6, she's a little impatient. Never mind that, instant gratification is kind of a big deal for all of us, right? So that is her finished piece. And it's a little, I just was doing my normal glaze process. I have some colors for her, but I wanted to test it and see how it worked, and I'm really pleased with how well that came out. I also sanded the bottoms of these, so these are super, super soft. And there's her initials in the back. She also initialed all of them herself so that everybody would know that it was Amelia that made those. So that was a fun thing for us to do, and I will be doing a photo presentation. I'll probably put some of those on my website just so that she gets a little gratification out of that. And one of the things we've been talking about doing is a little Periscope broadcast so that she can show people how to make trinket dishes. She's a very outgoing kid, so she really wants to do that, and I think we'll figure out how to get that done. But anyway, I just wanted to do a sort of a catch-up, let everybody know, see what the final product was before I send these off. Because they're going to go to Bozeman. She was really excited about them. Boy, that is a nice cup, isn't it? Thank you very much. I was so pleased with them. And then I was so floored when she said she wanted all of them. She didn't want just a dozen. So that was a great surprise. Thank you very much. And now I'm trying to decide about these trinket dishes. I think that I'm going to just put these for sale at the Art Walk, and then whatever doesn't sell at the Art Walk, I'll list on my Etsy shop. So these are really cute as well, these thrown off the hump trinket dishes. I need to work on being a little more consistent in my sizes though, because I'm kind of all over the place with these guys. Throwing flat on off the hump is a little bit different than throwing cups off the hump, so just a different thing. Have to train myself to figure out. So that's it for me, you guys. Thanks very much. I hope you all have a great weekend. It is Saturday. It's let's see, it's 10:51 a.m. Drinking coffee out of my Sunshine Cobb mug, which they're amazing. It's my favorite cup ever. It's the one I always reach for. If it's dirty, I don't know what to do. So I hope that you guys have a great weekend, and I'm going to get these packed up. I'm going to start working on some trays. I apparently have to make another kiln full of wine cups because these are all gone. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend. Hope you guys have a great one. Take care.